I'm curious what that schedule is going to look like because that's like 4 playoff games,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's a
12. Yeah. Because it's
because
6.
so it'll be like the playing games or whatever, which will take it to 8. Then 8 will take it to 4,
Yep.
and then
And
there'll be 2 more
7
games
extra
from
bye.
there. Like if you're like a 10 seed, you got to win 4 playoff games
And
to win the title.
in like basketball, you can have a Cinderella, right? Like, I
Yeah,
mean, there's more of a chance of that happening in basketball. Dude, in
yeah.
football, you're not gonna make a run like that.
You're not. You might beat a team though. I mean,
You might win once, but you're not gonna win 4. Like,
you're
there's
not going to win
not gonna be a
4.
12 and just plow through 3 other
Yeah,
teams. It is
I
not
agree. You're not going to win 4, but you could beat a Michigan or something or
yeah.
Michigan State.
But I mean, too, here's the thing. Like, as a Mizzou fan, like I'm hyped, right? I mean,
Oh
because
yeah,
like we could make the playoff, and like we'd be super excited for that. Like
yeah,
we don't have dreams that we're gonna win the national championship, but I mean,
yeah,
we get in the playoff, dude. That's Christmas for us. So
yeah.
who knows?
We made the first one. We made
You,
the
I
first
mean,
college, or
you
this maybe
did
it was the second college football playoff. Can't remember,
because
but
you guys play Bama, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, we got smoked.
Dallas, right? Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah, I was in Dallas. My friend, I had a lot of friends that actually like drove there. Like didn't even fly; they drove to Dallas. And I remember one of them sent me a photo, like because they were like drinking and tailgating all day. Like it was New Year's Eve, and like my buddies are like all like sleeping at the game because it was such a blowout. It was so bad.
A lot of time sleeping that game. Yeah, it was like
That was 2015 because I remember just saying like, well, because that was like the year going into my first marathon, your first dopey, and I was like, well, I guess it's time for dopey or marathon. Like no more college football for me.
Yep.
Oh man, that was
13,
bad. But
13
we made it.
14 more years because we made the SEC championship against Auburn, and then the second year against Alabama. I was like, oh
Yeah.
we should have
But
beat
if you look at the format for the 12, Michigan State would have made like a couple more. So like that's why I'm excited for it. We'd be in more college football playoffs. Dude, I saw a stat today I didn't even realize. So there's only 2 schools that have won multiple national championships in men's basketball and football, and it's Michigan State and Florida.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Alabama's had some good basketball teams, but never.
I don't think they've won multiple. I don't even know if they won a championship.
I don't think they've won, but they've been good over the last couple of years.
That kind of blew my mind away because like oh yeah, like you think of like the powerhouse football teams, they usually don't win the basketball tournament. Same with the best, like the Dukes and the Kansases, they don't have a football team at all.
Oh, Kansas, terrible.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Here we go. I got a couple topics. We'll come up with something. Here we go. Let's see. I got this on. Let's do it. Here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the BOGP open line for Sunday night, September 4th, 2022. Happy Labor Day weekend here in the United States of America. My name is Mike Roman, host of the Be Our Guest podcast. Glad to have you here. Tuned in live on Facebook or YouTube, spending some of your Labor Day weekend with us. And as always, here on the call-in shows, it's your buddy and mine from up in the land of Sparty, because it is college football season finally. Scotty G. What's up, Scott? You having a good weekend?
Hey, Mike, having a great weekend. Enjoyed the long weekend. We went to the zoo with the family, and as you just spoken to, like Labor Day, I have like this mixed feeling about Labor Day. So I hate the end of summer, right? Because summer is fun. You know, you think about like nicer weather, longer days. You know, summer is just fun. Excuse me. But then you're sad to see that go. But then you're super excited because college football is here. So you're sacrificing one thing, but bringing in something excellent with just college football. And that's what happened this weekend. It was a good first slate of games. Both our teams won. So let's move on to week 2.
That's right. Both of our teams right now are in the national championship hunt. You know, Michigan State probably a little bit more than the University of Missouri, but we're both 1-0. And, you know, for baseball, you always say hope springs eternal. So maybe hope falls eternal. I don't know. We'll see. We're excited around here. Our high school football team is rocking. We had an outstanding game on Friday. Hopefully you saw that on real. I got to ask you something. I was saving this for the live show because you posted something on Facebook that I have not even encountered. I haven't even talked to you with via text, via nothing, because it has got to be a typo. Like this cannot be true, because I mean, high school football where we play, it's awesome. Like, okay, so just real quick, go to my Instagram and look on the reels. So the game that we had was first responders and military night. Friday night, it was raining. It was kind of miserable, but they still brought in the game ball via helicopter. Comes in, boom, they land on the 50. Guys jump out of the helicopter, deliver the ball to these two veterans. They hold up the ball. The place goes crazy. A couple thousand people at the football stadium. It was awesome. And then we crushed a team that we're probably going to end up playing for state. Just they came from 3 hours away, just destroyed them. So that was just a great night. Plus, the Mizzou head coach, okay, the Mizzou head coach comes to the game. He doesn't come to the game in a car, dude. He comes in a helicopter himself. So in the second quarter, he does a hot lap around our football field in a helicopter. Like the other team's driving. They're on the 10 getting ready to score on us. He's hovering about 100 feet over the end zone at the end where they're about to score. Everybody knows it's him because he's in this black helicopter from Mizzou. He lands. Everybody's watching him. He hangs out for the rest of the game. It was unbelievable. So our high schools were hyped. Anyway, so I saw you talking about, because you mentioned, and your band does rock, I got to say, because you post the band marching into the stadium before every game. But then I saw you post something about the football team, and typo, right? I mean, something about you've scored 600. You got,
we're getting closer to 700 now, Mike. So let me tell you a little something. So last year would have been Emily's freshman year, first game of the year. Band comes in, does an awesome pregame. You know, we're kind of excited, like, all right, let's see what the football team looks like. Second play from scrimmage is like a 90-yard touchdown run. Like, we were deep in our end zone and like just broke away, scored a touchdown. I'm like, yeah, baby, Ilkamus, here we go. And Mike, we have not scored a point since then. Wow. That was the first drive of the season last year. And not have we scored a point since then. They averaged giving up about 60 to 70 points a game. It's always a running clock too. So for Michigan State high school sports, so once you get to 50, if you get to 50 points in the first half, which is an outrageous number, the clock starts running. If it's 35 by halftime, the second half is a running clock. So the first half takes forever because we give up so many touchdowns. And then the second half it's a 2 12-minute quarters. So it's like a 25-minute second half. It's so bad.
That is crazy. Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, man, just like an accidental fumble. Like, things have to happen. But
you want to know the heartbreaker, though? Last game, it was senior night last year. And because the band doesn't get to play the fight song very much. That's
I didn't think about that.
So, I mean, they play it like 3 times during pregame, so they got it down, you know. And when they march into the stadium, they play it and stuff. But anyway, last game of the season, they get a touchdown. Band starts, I mean, the crowd's going crazy. The band strikes up the fight song, and then the refs come up. They called like a holding penalty. Like just let them score at that point, you know.
Put it in your pocket, ref. Put it in your pocket.
I know. So that's our argument. You know what? We're the state champions in soccer. We do good at like the golf, the soccer, the water polo. Unfortunately, Mike, there's just not a really good like junior football program in our area, which is the problem.
That's what you got to have. And that's what we got.
All these other schools kids have been playing since 4th grade, not in Emily's district. They have not. They've been playing golf. They've been playing other sports.
And that's what it totally makes sense, because that's what we have. We have the junior Vikings, which from the time they're in 3rd grade, they're like playing. I mean, they have the program, right? They're running all the same plays from 3rd grade all the way into high school. And that's why they're pretty.
Our most athletic people play water polo and soccer. That's what the guys are playing. So, which is fine. You know, I've always jokingly said the band should play at the soccer games because they're so good at soccer.
Maybe I better luck. Yeah, even though usually 1, 2, 3, nothing or something. But hey, I mean, apparently it's gonna be more.
that's more points than we're getting in the football team.
Who cares? All right, okay. So I just want to get that. I know we're not talking Disney, but that was just something. So, in the Disney news, okay. So Friday's show, we talked about Disney upgrades that are totally worth it. And so when we open up the phone lines here in just a few seconds at 407-413-9395, we're looking for mini trip reports. So if you've been to Walt Disney World, you want to share like 10 minutes or so, highlights of your trip, some great dining, what you thought of your hotel, special events that you did while you're down there. We'd love to hear those. But also, if you have a Disney upgrade that you've done lately that you think is something you need to get out there for the common good, we talked about club level being an upgrade that's worth it, upgrading to a veranda stateroom with Disney Cruise Line. I think I mentioned fireworks cruises, I think is a nice upgrade. If you have a group of people, that's not much more. You get a lot of bang for your buck. But what do you have? Give us some suggestions there. Also, a couple of news stories this week I wanted to get your take on real quick, Scott, before we open up the phone lines. One was, I don't know if you saw this story, but it was in the Wall Street Journal. It was that rumored kind of subscription service that Disney's toying around with, kind of similar to Amazon Prime, where you would pay a monthly subscription, and it's going to be, it's not anything that's out there yet, but it's rumored where it'd be something like an Amazon Prime service monthly subscription, but it might bundle things like a Disney Plus, some kind of a membership where you're getting discounted hotels, possibly discounted theme park tickets, merchandise, exclusivity, stuff like that. What did you think? Because at first, when I heard the news, I thought it was just going to be a rewards program, which is what I thought Disney should have for the last 20 years. Like, you've dropped a bajillion dollars with Disney over the last couple of decades. I've dropped a bajillion dollars with Disney over the last couple of decades. It'd be nice to have more rewards than just what I get with Disney Visa, right? I mean, I'm getting a little with Disney Visa with my purchases every day, but if I could have had 1% of what I pay for all my vacations over the past decade, 2 decades, I would feel really good because I would have accrued a lot of points, rewards, what have you, hotel nights, theme park tickets. But this is something different. So what did you think when you heard the details of this story?
So I had the same exact train of thought as you did, Mike. My thought was like, oh, sweet. It's probably going to be like hotel points, or like based on stays. So like how Marriott and any other big hotel chain has. Like, sweet. We're going to get all these rewards. This is going to be an extra benefit to want to stay on site. Maybe we'll get like a free upgrade every now and then or whatever it may be. So I was super psyched about it. And then I saw it was like, oh, like it's bundling all these other things. It was like the complete opposite. And maybe like the headline like misled me the wrong way, or it's just like wishful thinking, right? I mean, it's fine. I'm glad they're trying to do something, but it's nothing that is like getting me super excited, Mike, as it would be if it was what I originally thought, which was a rewards program for staying on site in hotels.
All right, well, we got our first call coming in. So let's grab this one here and then we'll have more discussion on that. So we have somebody calling in from the 570 area code. Hey, who's joining us?
Hi, Mike and Scott. This is Sarah from Indianapolis.
Hey, Sarah from Indy. What's going on? Hopefully you guys having the rainy weather too. It's been kind of miserable here in St. Louis today.
Yeah, today's been a little bit miserable.
Yeah, you can't all be in Florida. So what's going on? What do you have for us tonight?
Yeah, so I have an upgrade that I'm trying to see if you guys think is worth it. I wanted to get your opinion on it.
Go for it.
We are going to Disney World, leaving on Thursday with a trip that you helped us book. So thank you again, Mike. We appreciate that.
Thanks.
And we are going to the Halloween party on Friday. I'm going with my husband. My mom and my sister are coming down separately. They're coming down for the Halloween party. And then I'll have my 4-year-old son and my 1-year-old son. Now, we know the 1-year-old, we don't have to pay for him for the party. We know he's probably going to fall asleep in the stroller, and that's fine. But my 4-year-old is super excited for the fireworks and for the special parade and everything. So we're trying to make that as much as we can do for him. So I saw that you can book the dessert party for fireworks viewing for the Halloween party. And my thought was that I was potentially going to do it because to have the guaranteed space to watch the fireworks. I was wondering if you think we could potentially see the parade from there. But my other thought of why I want to do it is because, or why I'm thinking of doing it is because my 4-year-old probably will stay up if he's entertained and doing things. But if we're just sitting there waiting for the fireworks to start for an hour or waiting for the parade to start for an hour, I'm afraid that he's going to fall asleep and miss all of these things.
Ooh, that's
so
a good
my
call.
idea was to book the dessert party, be out, like get a wristband, be out doing other things during the Halloween party itself, and then coming back over, definitely for the fireworks, and then plus or minus for the parade if you think we can see the parade from that viewing area too.
So let me ask Scott on this one because Scott was just recently at the second Halloween party this year. So he was there and knows more of the mechanics of what's going on this year than I do. So Scott, thoughts?
Yeah. So first off, I'm always down for a splurge for fireworks parties because like those are so good. This one is kind of tricky though, because you've already spent money on a hard ticket event, but I feel like my mind thought is like, hey, you've already spent that, that's money already spent. Let's focus on how you can upgrade that experience. So I will say, like, I like the idea, I like where you're thinking, but I was so same as you, like the fireworks and the parade are always like number 1 and 2 for me at these parties. And we kind of rolled super late for the fireworks. Like we just kind of like got lost like in Frontierland doing an attraction, and they're like, oh shoot, the fireworks are starting in like 30 minutes. We got to get over there, So we walk over from Frontierland all the way over, and we actually got a spot like right in front of the partners statue. And this was a sold out night. So we were able to see the fireworks pretty easily and didn't have to wait very long and had a good spot. But to your point though, like for the parade, we definitely like went over and like we sat down for 30 to 45 minutes, held a spot, you know, and it can get kind of boring, right? For especially for like a 4-year-old trying to like, you know, keep that energy going, waiting for the parade. So I kind of like where you're heading with the extra experience. I think it'll be totally worth it if these are the things that you want to see the most.
Do you think we would be able to see the parade from the Garden Hub viewing area, or do we have to find somewhere else to watch that?
I believe that you should be able to see that. I'm trying to, so if it's the same spot where you would watch fireworks, that parade is going to come right around that area on Main Street, USA. So I'd say you're right in a good spot to just stick around. Mike, what are your thoughts on that though?
But for the fireworks, is it not the guard? So if you're facing the castle, okay, say you're standing on Main Street, you're facing the castle. Is that Garden Hub area not to the right of Main Street?
It's to the right of the castle. So you're standing on the right side.
Right.
Yeah.
And the parade though comes from the left. It comes from like Liberty Square, Frontierland, right? I don't think you would be up too close to the parade. I think you'd be pretty distant. You would see it, but I think it'd be best seen from that parade. Here's the thing about that parade. I mean, I think Scott's exactly right. I don't think you have to worry so much about the time invested for the fireworks viewing. I think it's more for the parade, because the parade is more, you know, you get more bang for your buck getting a good spot, where if you can get right up there, some curb space to be able to see those floats without anybody in front of you, to be able to see the grave diggers and so forth with the sparks from the shovels, the headless horseman, if he runs, that's amazing. And, you know, I think that if you can come up with some kind of like games to, you know, to pack this to distract your child, or some kind of candy to, you know, hopefully you can trick or treat before them, and maybe just keep, I know this is bad parenting, but I've done bad Disney parenting many times.
Oh no, we do that.
Okay.
We do bad Disney parenting.
I mean, the worst thing we did was when Paige, who's now, you know, an adult, when she was younger, and we'd stay for those extra magic hours that went to like 3 a.m. in the summer, back when they used to do them crazy, insane hours, we'd go to Main Street. And they had those, I don't even think they make them anymore, but those things, those like clear tubes you would fill up with the different colors of sugar. Like they were just like big sugar sticks that were like 18 inches long.
Oh yeah.
We'd get her one of those at like 9 o'clock at night. And then we just like let her eat the sucker all night. And she would go till 3 a.m. I mean, terrible parenting, but it kept us going. We had a good time. She crashed like nobody's business. But I mean, you know, you're trick-or-treating, and I think the parade though is your better time. The dessert party is going to be fun, but I don't think you're going to get great optimal viewing from that space over in the garden. It's great for the fireworks, but I don't know that it's great for the parade.
Yeah, that's a good point. And not that I like to give out all our secrets, Mike, but like this is a podcast. These are our friends. So like I feel safe sharing our secrets on the show. So my favorite viewing area for the parade is like in Frontierland, like that transition between Frontierland to why am I forgetting like the Liberty Square. So I like to sit on the side of like Liberty Inn and like Country Bear. Like I like sitting on that side.
I like right in front of the shooting gallery. There's a spot there that's a little bit deeper, and it gives you a little bit more room to maneuver.
Yep. But I'll tell you this though, Sarah. So that's where we stayed for the second parade. So we watched the fireworks. We headed over there. We waited a while, but there was like full on entertainment. So all the Country Bears were out like dancing and like taking photos. They did like this little like, you know, like line dancing, like everyone could like come out and like hang out with the bears and like do all these activities. So like that would keep your son entertained. I feel like just watching all the characters going around, as long as they're not afraid of the Country Bears. But then there's like the cadaver Dans come by and like sing to you. So there's all this like on like the street entertainment while you're waiting for the parade to start. So I think that would like keep your son pretty engaged as well.
That's a good idea too. Okay, great. Yeah, our other option was going over to Frontierland just to try to hope that the crowds were a little bit lower over there for the parade.
To be honest, to me, I feel like there's more atmosphere for the Halloween party in Frontierland. It feels more
like the theming is better.
It feels like a fall festival more back in Frontierland for the parade, especially when the cadaver Dans are coming around and stuff like that. It just feels a little spookier back there.
A headless horseman in Frontierland makes more sense than on Main Street to me.
To me too. Yeah.
And then like you're kind of near the Haunted Mansion too, you know, so like that whole area just I'm sorry, Sarah, what were you saying?
Oh no, that's okay. I was just gonna say I appreciate your input.
Well, hey, so when are you guys going down?
We leave Thursday.
Ah, you're so close.
And then you said
Yeah.
the next day is the Halloween party, right? That Friday.
Yeah, we're doing the Halloween party on Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're still not too close to Halloween, so I think you should be okay with the fireworks. I mean, if you're going like, after like October 20th or something, you may have some trouble, but I think you're still in the green area, I would say. You're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, I saw that the party was sold out, and so that's what was making me a little bit more nervous about it. But I'm starting to think that maybe they're just not selling as many tickets this year for it too.
Well, yeah, okay. I hope that would be nice if they held back, but I think Disney sells, as many as they can sell. Unfortunately, but I mean, Scott, his party was sold out. And
Ours was sold out, and we weren't like right in the front. So, but we could still. I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's a cool like host of the fireworks this year, and we could see that just fine from where we were, and we didn't have to wait super long. So it's a tough splurge, to swing it back to where you started. You got the splurge. Do you do the fireworks show? You're already in for the tickets. It's a tough call. I see pros on both sides, and I don't think you can go wrong with either way. But for the parade viewing, as Mike said, I think switching your parade spot after the fireworks would be good at, and going to Frontierland is like where we all like to go.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
If it was me, I would not upgrade. This is me. This is me because I could probably find some way with that many people to spend that money in a different way throughout the vacation, because you can probably get a good fireworks spot, and you really need to be kind of on the curb for the parade. And you're going to have all kinds of candy that night. I mean, just tons of good candy and treats everywhere if you want to buy them.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Great. Well, thank you guys very much. And Mike, thanks again for helping us book the trip. We're really looking forward to it.
Thanks for supporting us. That's what keeps us being able to do the show. I really, really appreciate it, and hope you have the best time ever. So give us a call when you get back and let us know how.
Sarah, can I ask you a question now? Like, I know Mike put the trip, but I'm just curious, like, where are you staying at? I love the resorts are my favorite part. So I'm just curious what resort you're staying at.
Oh yeah, we're doing a split stay. So we're staying the first half at the Contemporary, and then we're moving over to the Boardwalk.
Love it. That's a great trip. So is your plan then to just walk over to the party? Like, what time are you trying to get there?
Yeah, that's our plan. I think we're going over around 4. We don't have park tickets for that day. So we're going to go in around 4. We have a dinner reservation at 4:20 for Skipper's Canteen, and then hoping to just do all the party stuff for the rest of the night.
That is a perfect plan. Right?
That sounds awesome. and are there costumes? Do you have costumes ready?
We do. We're going to be Toy Story characters.
Oh, I love it. Our group was originally going to do that, and then we switched to be our guest lizards. Kind of late, but I love the Toy Story idea. But yeah, hope to see some photos and give us a call back about it. This sounds like it's going to be a great vacation for the family.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All righty. You have a good time. We'll talk to you soon.
You too.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. We got all kinds of calls coming in. That was Sarah in Indianapolis. Let's get to the next call here. And all right, we have our next call. Hey, who's joining us?
It's Malcolm from the UK.
Hey, Malcolm. Thanks for calling in again. I know you're trying there a couple times, and we were talking to Sarah, but hey, welcome home.
That's fine.
I know
we came back on Tuesday.
Yes.
After our 27 days out in the States. We had a great time. Thank you.
I got to blame you because you made me have orange chicken at Panda Express twice while you were in the States. Like every time you posted, I had to go right, because we have one right down the road. I had to go get my orange chicken.
It was amazing. Orange chicken and the sesame one. Oh, it's amazing.
Here's the thing. I like the honey sesame chicken more than the orange chicken. Both times I went, they were out. I just had to get double orange chicken. I was like, okay, my buddy from the UK is getting honey sesame chicken, and I can't get it, and I'm down the street. Come on now. No, I didn't tell him that, but that's what I was thinking.
It's our normal thing. When we leave MCO, we always have a meal. Even though we fly Virgin Atlantic, the food's not that bad, but we always have a Panda Express before we leave. Katie, my youngster, as you know, you've met, she doesn't like flying, so she basically likes to just sit on the plane, go to sleep after she's had something to eat. But no, we had a great time out. The fancy was absolutely brilliant. Totolo and St. Thomas was out of this world. So hot, absolutely fantastic.
I've never done Eastern. I got to go on the Eastern Caribbean side sometime. I've done Western 4 times now. I don't know. It's just how the schedule works, but yeah, I got to get to the Eastern.
For sure.
No, we definitely do it again, without a doubt. We as you know, we booked for the Wish with you for next year anyway, but we've also done a placeholder as well. So we're hooked now with Disney Cruise Line. We wouldn't go anywhere else now.
So
I love that ship. The Fantasy is a gorgeous ship. I mean, Malcolm, you were down there for I don't even know. Like, I know this is not Disney related, but did you end up going to Vegas? I think that was part of your plan. Did that end up happening at all?
Well, what happened? My wife is a mad Donny Osmond fan, and I actually found out the day we left, he went on holiday. So he went on vacation. So we couldn't have gone. And the day he was going back in Vegas was the day we was back in the UK. So it was never going to work. But no, thank you for your help, guys. And I know you looked at some flights for me, but it'll happen one day. But she's a mad Donny Osmond. We have a thing in the UK called Pantomime, which is like a musical theatre comedy thing. And she saw him in London last December. And but she's been a mad Donny Osmond fan for years. But it never worked. I had to tell her what I was trying to plan, but it was never going to work because he was going to be on vacation. But
at least you still get the credit for trying, though. So yeah, I think this works out pretty well.
No, it was worth a try. Oh, she would have gone mad if I found out she could actually go to that. But the flights were going to be quite expensive as well, to be honest with you. It was ridiculous, some of the flights. But no, we had an absolutely fantastic time. We spent 2 nights. We rented some DVC points from David's DVC, and we stayed at Bay Lake Tower for the first 2 nights. Probably wouldn't stay there again. We had a bit of a bad experience there with smoking on the balcony, which we had to report. And this guy would stop smoking, which is a bit of a shame, and they wouldn't do nothing about it. I think security were too scared to upset the person who was a DVC owner. And then we stayed 14 nights at Windsor Hills on the 192, which is an amazing house, 4-bedroom house. It was so cheap. And then we obviously went on the cruise. In hindsight now, we wish we'd gone down the night before and stayed like we'd done before at Port Canaveral. So we did 7 nights on the ship. 2 days at sea at the beginning was brilliant. Loved it. We had great servers, great assistant servers, lovely stateroom hosts who looked after us really well. But it was excellent. We couldn't fault the food at all. Probably ate too much. Probably drank too much. And then when we came back, we had the last 2 nights at Old Key West. Definitely would stay there again.
That is the place to go after a cruise, though, because it's so chill over at Old Key West. It kind of, it's almost like being on a cruise back on
Cruise
land.
Part 2, yeah.
Yeah, because we only had a 1-bedroom studio, which obviously has got 2 massive beds in there, lovely big bathroom, and it was so nice. But unfortunately, we had 1 case get damaged going onto the cruise, so we ended up buying 4 brand new cases. So when we came back, we went out with 4 and came back with 7 because my daughters spent a bit too much money out there. Well, Dad did, of course. But no, I'd definitely go there again. We're just trying to sort our flights out for our trip next year because obviously we've got the cruise on the Wish next year, but we need to sort out our flights by the end of this month to get it done. But I just thought I'd ring out to you guys saying, nice to speak to you. And I meant to try to ring you guys while I was out there, but I've just run out of time. Some evenings to do things. It was quite tiring days, to be honest with you, but we loved it out there. It's absolutely brilliant. We went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party.
So I'm going to ask you this real quick. I mean, time goes quick when you're on vacation, so we totally get it. It's like time goes 10 times faster when you're.
I know, because like Malcolm and I, we had overlapping days, and like I know we messaged each other a couple times, and like I wish we could have got to work, but they'll next summer, right? We'll make it work.
Yeah, we're out there for a month next August, which we're just trying to sort the flights out now as we talk, but we can't do them to the end of the month. But no, we will get together. It's just trying to make. Well, it's funny. We ended up meeting one of our neighbours where we live here for dinner one night because they'd flown out at the same time we was out there, so it was a bit spooky to do that. But like I said, we went and saw Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. That was a good evening. Unfortunately, it rained for the first hour and a half, which was a shame. But no, the actual event was fantastic. Loads of candy, as you call it, and great fun. So,
Wait, what do you call candy?
Sweets.
Okay, it works. So you mentioned like meeting somebody from like back home, like you come all this way, then you meet somebody from back home. Speaking of being on a cruise, one of my students was on a cruise with me one time. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, one of my neighbours was selling his house, but when we went on the cruise, we checked our car into Alamo because we didn't want the car for 7 days. It was so expensive car rental, and we were sitting on the cruise ship, on the bus to go back to the cruise ship. And I heard the guy say to me, "Where are you from?" And he was actually from the next town from us, literally about 5 miles away. And he was like shocked that we actually lived just around the corner. But it was spooky. And we started talking about friends. We knew each other's friends. So
It's
It's
incredible.
small world, as they call it.
It's a small world after all.
But no. Hopefully, guys. We're obviously my daughter's at school and university, so it's a bit tough times at the moment trying to come out when your school holidays are out there. But no, obviously we may sneak a trip in Christmas. I'll keep saying to the girls, we may sneak a trip over in Christmas time. But obviously we're planning for August next year. But we're trying to go out for another 4 weeks next time because the flights are so expensive in the UK. You just need to make sure you take advantage of the time you're out there, really. So,
yeah,
I need to do it like that. I wish I could go for 4 weeks. That'd be sweet. Because I used to go for almost 2 weeks, and that was unbelievable. But 4 weeks, whew.
Yeah, it's obviously one advantage. I work for myself, so which is really handy.
Right.
I can still do a little bit of work. I try not to do too much when I'm away, but I can still do work if I want to. So, but So look, guys, I just wanted to give a quick call. Won't obviously taking up too much time, but I just want to say hi and thanks to Mike for sorting out our fancy cruise. And obviously, we're doing the Wish one as well next year. So
I appreciate
Malcolm, I'm going to ask you a question. So last time you called in, you were talking about your new Main Street Motors, I think is what that is called. Like things still going well there with the leasing company?
So it's called Main Street Leasing.co.uk.
Leasing. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Can't advertise. It's no point for you guys, but stock is really bad still. We're talking 12 to 14 months for most deliveries at the moment. But no, we're doing okay. It's things are ticking over. We're quite happy with things, and it will get better. But it's just the world we're living in with microchip problems at the moment all around the world, and that's the problem. Is at the moment renting a car in the US, like we had a Chrysler Pacifica out there. It cost me a lot more, probably about $800 more this time than it did the previous time because they've got no stock out there.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, Main Street Leasing. I just love how that ties into like Disney. So I'll remember it next time.
You're right. Like if you know, you know.
Look, guys, I won't take all your time. Have a good evening and lovely to speak to you again.
Hey, Malcolm, you take care and tell the family we said hello.
Thank you, sir. All the best. Take care.
Right,
Thanks
all
a
the
lot.
best to you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Oh, bye, Malcolm. I love Malcolm.
Main Street Leasing, man. I love that.
And he took the time to call in the middle of the night. I mean, over in the UK. And
that's pretty awesome.
He's awesome. So yeah, you got to meet Malcolm. He's awesome. All right, now we got the calls rolling in tonight. I love this. We should do them on holiday weekends all the time. Next caller. Hey, who's joining us?
Hey, Mike, it's Brandon up in New Hampshire. How are you?
Hey, Brandon. Good to talk to you tonight. Say hey to Scott.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago I talked to you about what created my Disney fandom, so to speak, and I was telling you about my wife and I coming down there for the first time, bringing her to Disney World, and Mike was Scotty was on vacation. He was out at Coronado Springs, my favorite resort.
Right.
So he was.
I listened to this. Are you the guy that likes Toledo? I believe, right? I listened to the old podcast episode.
Awesome, Scotty. How did you like Toledo?
I was hoping you would call because I was when I got back from Coronado, I was mowing the yard one day. I was like, oh, listen to the live show that I missed. Listen to your call. You were talking about Toledo. I'm like, oh yeah, I actually did eat there, and I enjoyed it. I'll tell you, it was like really loud the night we were in there. I don't know what was going on.
It's because you were there with Wade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it was funny. There was like these conventioners sitting next to us, and they were talking about the Big Ten and college football. So we were like trying to listen to their conversation a little bit too. But yeah, Brandon, we really enjoyed it. We got a lot of appetizers. I had a glass of wine. Like the views were remarkable. Like just the whole decor in there was really great. It's an underrated restaurant for sure that I think more people need to start thinking about because I don't think anyone ever thinks about Toledo. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I mean, granted, it's a tapas bar, so we did the same thing. We ordered 6 different appetizers, got a few drinks, but we were right in front of the open kitchen, which I thought was fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
We could watch everybody preparing our food and everything like that. We literally had a two-top right in front of where they're preparing the food. To me, that's an experience in and of itself. But also, Mike was telling me that you're a fine dining guy. Now, when I come down from New Hampshire, that's one of the biggest things that we do is we do Morimoto Asia. We did Haleo this past May, stuff like that. What are your go-to fine dining restaurants that you hit, or what would you recommend? Because we're coming back again in December.
Yeah, for sure. So this one is a new favorite of mine. I mean, it's been around for years, and we've dabbled at it some, but now it's like in our consistent rotation, and that's Citrico's over at the Grand Floridian. Now, I'll tell you, like, I don't know if you've ever been to Citrico's or Narcoossee's before, but Narcoosse's at Grand Floridian was our consistent, like, favorite out there. We got to go here all the time. You get the firework viewing on the water. But then, we started like going to Citrico's more. Now Narcoossee's going under a refurbishment. And I tell you, like, I don't know if you like beef or fillets or not, but their fillets is one of the best I've had on Disney property. So highly recommend Citrico's. It's just a gorgeous restaurant.
Absolutely. Now, are you guys adventurous eaters? Because that's what we are. We're willing to try and think. We go to Nomad Lounge, we get the grilled octopus.
Yeah.
We go to any restaurant, we get something out of our comfort zone. Is that what you guys do too?
Occasionally. So like I have my favorites. That's a problem I fall into, Brandon. So like, at Citrico's, like I love their filet. So I tend to not order anything but that. But I'm with you though. I mean, I don't go too crazy like with the octopus, but I definitely have a wide range of really, I'll go with the fish or I'll get some kind of fancy sushi or something. It sounds like you might have a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just, off the beaten path that I do, but I'm always willing to try something new. So like I would definitely go to, Tiffin's and get the octopus for sure. It's just not something I normally would try.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's our biggest thing is when we go down from New Hampshire, we come twice a year.
Yeah.
We want to try a new restaurant that's a sit-down restaurant that's not, quote-unquote Disney food.
Yeah.
We prefer to try something new. I mean, we love Boathouse. Morimoto's is our go-to every single time we come down. Those sticky ribs are unbelievable.
Oh, those are so good.
Have you ever been to Gico at Animal Kingdom Lodge?
I have not been there. That sounds like a good recommendation.
It is.
Oh, it's so good. And it sounds like you like some cocktails too, because you said something about drinking like at Toledo. So if you're into like wines, like the South African wines, the selection at Gico is like unbelievable. But just for signature dining, they have like your basics, but they have some nice, like not off brand, but you know what I mean? Some experimenting items there too at Gico. I think you would really like that. And the atmosphere is really great.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll have to try that in December then. I just wanted to give you a call because it's been a couple of weeks since you've been on the show and I was talking to Mike about that. But yeah, I'm glad you listened to the Hook story about our Disney experience.
Yes, that was good. I had a smile, from side to side while I was mowing the grass listening to that story. That was really great. So December's the next time, so I'll just miss you. I'll be there for things.
Chatting and Nad, I will definitely quote you guys on it.
So, Brandon, let me ask you this though before you go, because I just want to get your thoughts on this. So we talked on Friday about upgrades, and you're kind of somebody likes to go around and have these experiences at the dining locations. Is there an upgrade that maybe we didn't mention on Friday or that you can think of that maybe people need to consider when it comes to dining or hotel or even theme park experiences? Is there something where you upgrade an experience that it's a no-brainer for you when you travel to Walt Disney World?
I'll tell you, Michael, the one thing that you disappointed me on is I always book a preferred room. That's the first thing I do because you're closer to the lobby, you're closer to the restaurants, you're closer to the buses. If you're on Disney property, like I said, we come from New Hampshire, we don't have a rental car or anything like that. Preferred rooms at the cost of like $25 a night. We stay in the casitas typically when we go to Coronado Springs. That's right at the front of the resort. I mean, we love that atmosphere. We love that pool too. Even at Pop Century, we were in the 50s building, which is right at the front of the park. Like if we wanted to order DoorDash or something, you literally have a 2-minute walk right to the front of the check-in part of the park. Something like that. We get grocery delivery every year. We always order garden grocery. It's right there. You're literally 2 minutes away from that too. But also this year in December, we're doing the Seeds, what do they call it? The Seeds tour over at Living with the Land.
Oh, behind the scenes.
I love that tour.
Yeah,
for $35.
Yeah, the cheaper one. Yeah.
Hey, you get fed during it too. Spoiler alert, but you do get fed.
I don't think you get full.
I didn't know that part of it.
You don't get full. I'm kind of teasing it. You get a sample of food while you're in there. It's an awesome tour, though. I love it.
Off the boat and steal a cucumber.
Yeah, please. We do not want to see you on social media. Oh, that's awesome. No, that's the thing is like, that's why when I brought that up on the show, that one could go either way. I really think so because, there's times when I'm there solo on like a race weekend. I mean, if I'm going to be standard or preferred at Pop Century, because I'll be at Pop Century for like wine and dine and for marathon weekend, when there's a day where I'm walking 35,000 steps because I'm running a half marathon or I'm running a marathon, what's another 1,000 steps that day? Like, who cares? But you're right. I mean, when you're on vacation and you're trying to make the most out of, you can save 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. You're saving 20 minutes, 30 minutes in a day, and possibly a mile of walking for $25 that night. Yeah, that's a good upgrade. And you're getting the area you like better. Totally.
Well, that, and like I said, if we're ordering outside of the park, because we always, I mean, I'm not a food snob. I'm not opposed to the cafeteria style dining that you get at any of these resorts. It's not a big deal to us. But if we want Chinese or we want something like that, I don't want to have to walk across the entire park just to get to the front to meet the guy at the front door. Or if you order something from something as stupid as CVS or Walmart or something like that with Instacart, if you're not there and they don't meet you on time, they just leave.
Yeah. Well, if you order Panda Express, they're gonna take off with your orange chicken. Malcolm be out of luck. Got to be ready.
Well, we don't have good Chinese food in New Hampshire, so I'm going to tell you right now that if I'm going to eat Chinese food, it's going to be in Epcot.
There you go. Well, I mean, I heard theirs isn't that great either. I wouldn't know.
Actually, it's not bad.
Is it? I don't know. I mean, I like Chinese, but I mean, I think the stuff we have in St. Louis is good, but I mean, I wouldn't know. Like, it tastes good to me, but I mean, I also think Texas Roadhouse is a good steakhouse. So who knows? I'm not a good judge of.
Yeah, you said something in that. Like, I need to talk to you on the episode I wasn't on, saying how a Texas Roadhouse steak equals a California grill steak.
Yeah,
I'd never been to California Grill before. No, but Nine Dragons isn't that bad. I mean, so we went there a couple times because they had like a DVC like 30% off like lunch thing a few years ago. And like we love like Incredibles, the place we love here in town. Everyone's got their own like Chinese place, like local place. So Incredibles, where we go here in Lansing, and so we love that. But we went to Nine Dragons, and like we're like, it's not incredible, but you know what? It got the job done, and it was still really good. So
yeah.
Well, like I said, when we go down there, we always do dinner, signature dining for the nighttime. We actually like some of the basic places over at Disney Springs too. I love the daily poutine. We did an Earl sandwich this past May for the first time. Great sandwiches. I can't deny that. So to us, during the day, it's snacking. It's the cheeseburger rolls at Magic Kingdom. It's, something light in every park as we're going around. But for us, it's die hard, go through the park in the morning. We take 3 hours off during the middle of the day. We go back at nighttime to experience the rest of it. Then we go to a good restaurant at nighttime. So
nice.
To me, it's not so much about the cuisine. It's the signature dining experiences. We just really like the good food at nighttime to finish the night off. It's the nightcap for the night.
I agree. I try to make a table service meal every night of a trip. Just like I like to have that relaxing moment. Doesn't always have to be signature, but like it could be like a boat house or whatever. And it's just something about that. Just like it's a great way to wrap up a night,
And I will tell you, we did the aerophile for the first time, characters in flight, whatever you want to call it. And we're walking up to that thing, and my wife was all about it. And I was literally standing there saying, I'm not paying to get on this balloon. And we went up. It was fantastic. For people that are afraid of it, I'm not a heights guy. It was worth doing.
Yeah, that's one of the things I don't really ever want to do. That thing freaks me out. I've not been in it, and I've had the opportunity a few different times, and I'm like, heck no.
Yeah, I had to take Mike's family up so that they could get to go.
I was like, I have to go to this media thing for 2 hours. You guys go do the balloon, and I'll meet you after the media thing because I don't know why, but that thing looks. I mean, again, I was scared to get in airplanes, and I made 1,000 illogical reasons as to not get on the airplane. Now I love flying. Like I love flying. It's one of my favorite things to do. But that thing looks like it wobbles a whole lot when you're watching it from the ground, if there's any kind of a breeze. So I don't know.
Mike, for years, I was afraid to fly. I wouldn't do it. And my wife have gone, like I said, we've come from New Hampshire to Florida several times in the past few years. The airplane is terrifying. I like takeoff. I like landing. I don't like being in the air. To me, I'm irrational. So to me, it's a 50-50 chance. You either stay in the air or you don't.
Okay, I got to drop you.
We got to drop Brandon or else Mike's going to never fly again.
Think about this too much. I don't want the 50-50 proposition right here.
That's funny.
No, I get it. No, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm just, if those cords cut loose though, you're going to end up over with Malcolm in the UK. The things will fly away. And you're just, who knows?
Hey, that's not a bad way to get to the UK though.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to go one-way trip.
And then we'll bring Malcolm back. It'll save him on some airfare.
Right. Hey, Brandon.
I have a 12-hour ride home if that happens.
Right. It'd be a scary flight. Well, hey, we appreciate the call and hope you're having a great Labor Day weekend. And don't be a stranger. Give us a holler soon.
Yep, appreciate it, guys.
All right, you take care. Good talking to you.
You too.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that's a great call there. Again, 407-413-9395, 407-413-9395. I know some other folks were trying to get in there at the same time.
Brandon's a little more adventurous than me, but like I'm always willing. Like at Remy, you know, on the ship, I was eating all sorts of stuff I never tried, and that kind of opened up my palate a little bit more too. So yeah, and you can do that at Walt Disney World. Not every, I mean, every place is going to have like their basic, you know, like a fish and a steak and stuff, but sometimes, you know, you'll see something a little more adventurous on there too, which is good.
I think too, a cruise is a great opportunity to try
Yes.
stuff like Brandon was speaking to, you know, where you have some stuff on the menu. You might not even know what it is because it sounds so fancy, but you're with a cruise, it's kind of all inclusive. So you
Yeah.
can say, you know, okay, I'm really in for this filet, you know, I'm really in for this sirloin or whatever, this, you know, fancy steak. But if you tell your server, you know, what's this all about? Typically they'll bring that out too, and you can try that and there's no
Yeah.
harm, no
You
foul.
just get it for the table too. Everyone can get a taste of it, you know.
Yep. That's what I do like about cruising because I've tried quite a few things on a cruise, and I would have again because again I'm very practical, and I'm not going to pay for something unless I know that I'm going to like it, and so I many times will probably not do something that I would enjoy because I'm conservative like that. I don't want to, you know, take that risk. And on a cruise where it's okay, I'll give it a shot because you're bringing it out. We can give it a couple bites. And then I'm like, oh man, I would have never expected that I like this so much. And then it becomes one of my favorite things. So don't be afraid to ask on a cruise. All right. We have a question here from Jenna. I was going to get to here in the chat. She says, okay, I've listened to advice on Run Disney, wrote the email about being a public school teacher, social worker, leaving on Sunday after the marathon. I'm now staying until Monday. Should I go to the parks on Sunday after the marathon? This one is a resounding yes in my book. Scott, what about you?
I agree. And I think we're going to have the same reasons why, but you want to, you know, you just made some great accomplishments. I don't know which race. It sounds like maybe it is the marathon that they're running, but doesn't matter what the distance is. You want to go into the parks and celebrate, get photos with their medals, and you know, you can do not even photos of you. You can put like your medal with the castle like in the background or whatever. You know, there's so many things you could do photos wise, and that's why I liked to go into the parks.
The good news is you don't even have to be creative anymore. Like I'm super not creative, but all you gotta do is watch all the like influencers and all the other like find people that are like in their early 20s or you know the teens. There's not a lot of teens that run the marathons, but you'll see the people that are, you know, they know how to capture the great Instagram shot, right? So just kind of hang around in the hub, look at everybody with their medals, be like, oh, that's cool. And then, you know, do it for yourself. You know, that's, I mean, how many times we've seen like people hanging them on the fence, people hanging them on
What was great this last dopey, I was getting ready to hang mine on the fence, and a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, like my wife's got hers already hanging here. Do you want to just take a photo?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. That's going to save me 15 minutes of time."
they all look the same. Who cares?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The crazy one though was like someone went after me was like, "Hey, can I get a photo of those? But I didn't do the 5K or the half. Can you or the dopey and the can you leave all the others?" Like they were like putting special requests and like, no. This is just going to be for
Yeah.
like that's kind of crazy to me, but it was
Yeah.
awesome.
So Eric's in our chat, and Eric just completed that crazy challenge where he did because it was Eric, right? Did I not miss this? I got it right.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, I got it right. Yes, I'm going back in the chat, going back just to make sure. Yes. Who just ran around all the resorts, did this challenge. So if you want to give us a call and give us some thoughts on how that happened, 407-413-9395. We have about 10 minutes left in the show. But yeah, you got to get out there. Plus, the other practical reason to go to the parks on Sunday is, especially if you're running the marathon, the last thing you want to do is like, because you're going to be done by like 11 o'clock in the morning. You just don't want to go back to the hotel and stop. As soon as you stop, you obviously want to shower and kind of, you know, slow down because you're tired. But if you just like go and take a nap for like 2 or 3 hours, you are just done. I mean, you're not going to get up. You're going to lock up. You need to just keep walking. You don't have to go fast or anything, but you need to keep your body moving. And then that night you'll just fall, you know, collapse.
Yeah.
But have a good meal that night. You won't be as hungry Sunday night. Now Monday you'll eat everything in sight, but Sunday night have something celebratory.
Yep.
That's
Don't go for a long drive to the outlet mall and try to find a parking spot. Like that's the last thing you
Oh
want to
my
do, right?
God, I can't believe we did that. No, that was the worst. I was falling asleep in that car and I was hating everybody because I hate malls. I hate outlet malls 10 times more than real malls. And after running, because that was after a dopey, that was after 48 miles. I was hating. We couldn't get a parking. Oh my! It's lucky I didn't end up in jail that day. Okay, we have a call. I don't know if it is Eric or not. Let's see. All right, from the 925. Hey, who's joining us?
This is Eric.
Hey, Eric, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing great. How are things in Baltimore?
Ooh, things are great. I'm recovered.
Good.
All better.
So share with the audience, kind of set everybody up and then let us know. We got about, 10 minutes left, how the adventure went.
Sure, yeah. So this was just out of the blue. Felt like coming up with some challenge that I've never done before. This is hitting all resorts, going to every resort that on Disney property, like 32 of them or something like that, and running at each one of them, totaling up about a marathon, 26.2 miles. Making sure that I also visited every park with a snack and a ride, and do it all in one day.
Crazy.
I mean, the resort thing is nuts, but then you throw in like going to all 4 parks and get a snack and an attraction is even crazier.
Yeah.
You know what was the hardest thing was trying to eat a snack during that whole thing. It was like excruciating. I had like the pink donut. Like my first snack was like the pink donut.
So good.
And it was like, oh my God, this is rough.
Okay, so everybody, people are having a hard time understanding what you're saying right there. The hardest thing, you just said you ran 26 miles around all the resorts, and the hardest thing you had was eating a pink donut. Something's backwards with this story. This story's messed up already a minute in, but go ahead, continue.
It was, yeah, it was, I don't know, it was like rough. I was trying to eat like a Mickey, what was it? I had a Mickey pretzel at Magic Kingdom, and it was like, oh man, this is rough. But yeah, I had like shirts made up and everything. I had I named it after Rabbit, no time to say hello challenge, and that's what it was. I mean, I get up at 5 a.m., started out at the Dolphin, and did all those resorts, and like I had a whole plan, and I was really worried about being able to go to each resort and being able to park there, because that's the last thing you want to do is you don't have an ADR or you don't have a reservation there, you can't park there. That's always like the rule. But you know what? Those people let me in every single time.
Nice.
No problem whatsoever. The only
sense.
thing that they asked me was, are you staying on at any resort on property? And they let me on. I had no problem. So I ended up being able to drive to all of them, which saved a ton of time. So that was key.
That's good to hear. Those comments.
The run gods were on your side that day.
Somebody like actually let you do something. You weren't harming anybody. You were doing something cool. And it was,
you weren't trying to be sneaky about it. You're just trying to run on the resort.
Yeah, because that's what I said to him. I said, listen, I know this sounds really weird. You can look at my shirt, but I'm running, and I know I'm totally sweaty. I'm like dripping sweat, right? Because I'm in a rental car. Oh man, it's disgusting. If you guys see my reels, I'm like absolutely dripping. But anyway, like I would just go to the resort, and I'd like, look at me. You can tell I'm doing this. I'm doing a running challenge. I will literally be here like 15 minutes. And I'm out of here. And they're like, go ahead, go. So it was great.
Okay,
it was
so
fantastic.
Which resort would you say was the most challenging for you? Either just because of the physical layout. I would imagine Animal Kingdom Lodge, because I've stayed at all the resorts, and Animal Kingdom Lodge is the one I've had the hardest time finding a place to run. I always hit the treadmill there. But even as far as just like hitting the wall, maybe like it was one of your last resorts. But what do you remember like the resort portion that was challenging for you?
Yeah, so that Animal Kingdom Lodge, that was rough. That was literally me running around in the parking lot trying to get at least a mile. So that one was pretty rough. I think the most part, the rest of them were actually really good. I mean, they were all, I had it all mapped out ahead of time, so I kind of knew where I was going. But I had a little bit of trouble with the All-Stars, not because there wasn't enough, area to run or whatever, but I ended up just sort of meandering because there's not like a dedicated, like really cool, really big loop.
Mhm.
But you know, it wasn't a big deal. I ended up just running whatever I could, and then I ran back. But like, you know, all of them were really great. I think really the only one was Animal Kingdom Lodge. That was it was like it was like running back and forth. I felt like I was beating a path in the sidewalk because it was like, okay, well, let's get this mile. I'm out of here. So yeah,
So where was the finish line? So where did you hit 26.2? Okie West. Say Okie West.
yeah. So I ended up doing my home resort is I'm a DVC, so my home resort was Grand Floridian. So I wanted to at least do the monorail resorts last. So I ended up doing my last run, and it hit because it was like a downpour, absolute downpour, right when I was doing my last couple of miles. So I went from the TTC, ran from the TTC, went to the Poly, went to Grand Floridian. And it was funny because like I sat there in the parking lot and it was coming down, like I was saying, and it was just rough. And I was like, all right, I'll just sit here for a little bit. No big deal. I'll just hang out. And then I was like looking at my watch. I was like, you know what? Why am I sitting here? What? I did this all day and I'm just going to sit here in the car worrying about some rain. Get out there. Let's go. So I got out there, went from the TTC, ran all the way around Grand Floridian, and went through Magic Kingdom, hit Bay Lake, and hit Contemporary. When I hit Contemporary, I hit 26.2. But then what was funny was I finished it, and I was like, oh, this is great. So I started walking back to Magic Kingdom. I was just going to take the monorail back to TTC, get in my car, get changed, all that kind of thing. But the lines were so long, I was like, I can't do this. I got so impatient waiting. I ran all the way back to the TTC for Magic Kingdom, added an extra couple miles. So, yeah.
It's
awesome.
At this point,
So
it's
like
now an
29,
ultra.
something like that total.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So let me ask you this. That is such an adventure, though. That, for one thing, it's an insane idea. Okay. So, but I love that you did it, though. I mean, you had the shirt, you were posting on social media, the updates. I saw you talking, you were on the Skyliner, man. You were sweaty. You were in the middle of it, man. I could see the pain, but you were working through it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, what was something that popped up though that was kind of maybe just unexpected, either like on a positive way or a negative way, something that you learned that you just were not expecting, maybe a good or bad on this?
Yeah. So I'd say the good thing that was it was really kind of fun was that because I had my shirt on, and it was just awesome that so many people stopped to talk to me about it. Like they saw my shirt and they're like, "Hey, what is that thing you got? What is that? Is that today?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing it right now." They're like, "Wow, really?" And I ended up a couple of times. It was kind of cool. I had like a little crowd around me talking about what I'm doing and all that. And I was like, "Hey guys,
The Forrest Gump.
I gotta
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
I
That's
gotta
exactly
get out of here.
You should
I
have
really
had a big
gotta
beard.
go. This is gonna be a long day for me. But so that was really kind of cool, and just the support, because I remember talking to a few cast members and they were like, "Oh, hey, if you want to do this, if you want to do that, check this out." It was really, really cool. I had a whole bunch of cool pictures and everything. People super supportive about it. So that was awesome. I don't think there really was a negative thing, to be honest. It was just it was tiring, sure, but it was just a fun experience all around.
It had to have been super hot that day.
I
I
was
mean, I
gonna
know
say,
you had some rain,
You
but it had to have been hot.
cooler. I was gonna say you could probably pick the cooler time of the year, but I'm just saying.
Oh, it was bad. It was, so what I ended up doing was I had a cooler. I had a rental. So I went to Publix and I got a foam cooler, got a bunch of ice, got a bunch of Gatorades, and I just stuck it in my trunk. Cause I figured, you know what, this is going to be a car thing all day. I'm going to be going back to my car all the time. Just keep getting Gatorade. Well, I blew through that Gatorade like nobody's business by I don't know, it was like 10:30 in the morning. I was gone.
Oh.
So I ended up getting to, what was it? Port Orleans. I went into French Quarter and I had my whole bag. I bought a bag of like a shopping bag with like 8 or 9 empty Gatorade bottles and went to the water fill-up station in there and just started filling them up. It's like, and then took them back to the car. If I didn't do that, oh man, it would have been real bad. It was hot.
That's crazy. You ran your own support vehicle for your own marathon.
Yeah.
Around all
I
the
was
resorts.
my own crew.
You crewed it up.
I'm telling you, Aaron, you got to be one of the only people that have done this. I feel like. I mean, there's crazy people that have probably thought about this, but the way you executed it and then you threw the park challenge on top of it was like you're a legend, man. You really are.
For real, yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was really great because I ended up having like my daughter with, I was like, all right, what ride should I ride? Each one of these things. And she was like, oh, you got to go on Cali River Rapids when you get to Animal Kingdom. I was like, that's perfect. Exactly. Because it's going to be a hot day, all that kind of stuff. So, I had it all planned out. It was great. We had a great time with it. So loved it.
So where can people, because we're getting ready to wrap here because we're at the top of the hour, but where can people check it out on Instagram? Because I know you posted a lot of footage so people can go back and kind of relive the adventure.
Yeah, if you guys want to follow me, at Run the Diz, RUN the Diz, DIS. And then the challenge name itself is, what is it? Hashtag Rabbits WDW Challenge. But yeah, if you can just find me on Instagram, Run the Diz, you'll see it. Check out my reel. The whole thing is laid out there. It's fun.
All right, Eric. Hey, congratulations. You're crazy, but we love you for that. So.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, take care, buddy.
You have a great night.
All right. Congratulations.
All right.
Isn't that nuts, Scott? I mean, dude, it makes us run a marathon on Sunday. Like, dude, you just ran on the road. Like,
it makes me want to try it. Is what it does. Next year, man, you're going to have like Eric's going to be leading this whole group. It's going to be like a Give Kids the World charity event tied to it.
Dude, it is so a Forrest Gump thing though, because when he said people were gathering around him, I could just see it. Like he starts off at the Dolphin with he's alone. By the time he gets over to the monorail resorts, there's 75 people behind him, and his sneakers are worn out, and he's got a beard.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. I love the visual.
It takes all of us, man. I'm telling you what, man, the Disney community, it takes all kinds. That's an example of it right there. Anyway, we got to wrap, but we're going to do this again next Sunday night. Unfortunately, Scott's not going to be with us. He is traveling for business down to Nashville. Got to get a cowboy hat, buddy. Got to come back with some boots or something. I mean, a Predators jersey or something. I don't know.
I will try. Yes.
I don't know. I've heard they got good food down there.
And I'm going to Chicago later that week too. It's like a crazy week of like business travel. So I go to Nashville, then I come back to Lansing for a day, then I go to Chicago, then I come back to Lansing the next day. I'm going to be exhausted, man.
You have to say,
not quite like Eric exhausted, but
no, dude, that's nothing. Yeah, I have to say, hey to Paige up there in Chi-Town.
I know, yeah, I should.
Let you know. Okay, but I'll be back here next Sunday, so I'll need you to call me so we can talk Disney about all the stuff going on next week.
D23 will be happening, so you'll have some news.
Yeah, breaking news next week. That's right. So. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all your Disney trip planning needs. You can check out all the free services they offer you over at themagicforless.com today. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click really does help us out. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to the patrons of the Be Our Guest Podcast. You allow us to put out the show not once a week, not twice a week, not 3 times a week. We do 4 shows a week. And our patrons get a 5th show every week called Mike in the Midwest. If you'd like to get in on that, come on over to patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give Scott a follow on the social media. He's at Epscott, EPSCOT on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike, and I'd love to talk to you this week on Instagram and Twitter as well. And don't forget, again, next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, YouTube, Facebook, whichever you choose. Join me and let's talk Disney live. And of course, we'll have the shows this week. As always, with Pam and Ricky, we're going to have some fun talking Disney this week. All right, we're going to get out of here and wish you a great Sunday night or a great Thursday if you're listening here on the feed. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. That was a fun one. I love it. He calls, man. That makes it so much fun.
It was fun, man. The calls are good. We had, what was it? We had Sarah, we had Malcolm, Brandon, and then Eric. Yeah, it was good.
And Eric is so crazy. I'm telling you, man, that is insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Nothing go like that. Oh my goodness.
I forgot the Southerner Brian Kelly starts his LSU.
I wonder if he's going to talk with that fake.
That fake accent is the worst. That's worse than like it's just as bad as Jasmine's on Big Brother.
Yes. Turns on and turns off like a light.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to cut you. Oh wait, what did I just do? I hit the wrong thing. I'm saving it in the wrong place.
You hit the delete button.
No, I had it in the wrong place. Let's see. Let me have this just real quick. This PC. Desktop. Let me just save this real quick before I lose it. Live show. September 4, 2022. Okay. Got it. Hey, so if I don't talk to you, Be safe down in Nashville. I'll talk to you before.
Oh, we talk to each other every day, basically. So yeah,
We'll talk. All right. Well,
and you're not recording tomorrow. You're waiting, like, because Ricky is going to record on Tuesday. Like, you're recording Tuesday, right?
yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't have a football game this week, and Ricky wanted to see if we could wait because she's at Disney.
I know. I saw she was at Wine Bar George yesterday. Looked like Jocelyn and like Moose and Georgia were down there too.
Are they?
Yeah.
I haven't been on social media. We've been super busy this weekend. I just saw Ricky was because Pam told me she's like, Ricky's at Disney. I was like, oh yeah, she said she was, and I looked and she was.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'll let you know though. But yep.
Yeah, it sounds like you should have the normal crew, so you should be good. I'm guessing.
Yes,
But
I should be. We'll
yeah.
see.
All right.
I'm gonna
Hey.
send a message tonight though and see what Pam's status is.
Sounds good. All right.
Take care. Have a good one.
Have a good night, everyone.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Carolyn.